Like so many entrepreneurs, personal frustration. Myself and my co-founder Fiona were together having a few glasses of wine as we did, and I got my period. And we were at home and had no period products. We looked in every single, coat pocket, drawer, in the bathroom, etc., and couldn't find anything. So we said to ourselves, this is crazy. How do we not have a tampon? This happens to us pretty much every month without fail. So we were 4 years old last April, and I never even acknowledged it until I was sitting at home actually in Dublin with my family, and my mum handed me a card and I opened it and it was happy 4th birthday. And I was like, oh my God, I acknowledged it in my head being oh wow, but actually I was like, this is crazy, it's amazing, and we should be celebrating every single milestone without getting too ahead of ourselves. I think that's a real art.
From Swoop, it's Take the Plunge, a podcast where we hear from founders who've stopped what they were doing and took the plunge to start their own business. We explore why they made that decision, the first crucial steps they took, and what it takes to really scale. My name's Ciaran, and I'll be your host for this episode. Today, I'm finally delighted. We've been waiting for this for months, I'd say nearly a year. But Aine Kilkenny is in the house, co-founder of Riley, the award-winning Irish period care brand, shaking up a category that hadn't changed in decades. Since launching in 2021, Riley has gone from a kitchen table idea to brand stocked in leading retailers and workplaces across Europe, all while championing sustainability, transparency, and open conversations about women's health. Under Aine's leadership, Riley has replaced millions of single-use plastic period products with organic, biodegradable alternatives, built a fast-growing subscription model that's now serving customers in over 30 countries, partnered with schools and corporates to make period care more accessible and stigma-free. So we're going to chat about absolutely everything to do with Riley, how Aine has navigated the leap from corporate to startup founder, what it takes to build a purpose-driven brand in a crowded market, and how she's scaling a business that's challenging both consumer habits and cultural taboos. Finally, we're here. Welcome. How are you doing, Aine?
I'm so good, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Great. Well, let's just actually pare back just before Riley. What were you doing, and why did you decide, don't really want to do this anymore, I want to start something myself?
So before Riley, I had been in a mix of both a startup and also in enterprise size. So I was in Salesforce directly before we started the business. I started it because actually my dad was an entrepreneur. He had his own business for 35 years. So seeing that and that being in the household, I think, was probably opened my eyes to the fact that I could be an entrepreneur, or the fact that I could start a business. And it's not that he came home every night and was these are the financials, or this is what the business looks like. It's just that he loved his job, and it really showed me that that's important. It's important to love your job, and it's important to do something that you're going to have impact with as well. So I think when I came out of college and I was doing different jobs in startups and corporates, I always was looking, nothing was quite right. I just couldn't. I loved my different jobs and everything, but nothing was really keeping me there. I always knew I was going to start a business, and I just didn't know when it was going to be or what it was going to be. And then we came up with the idea for Riley, and then never looked back.
And how did that come about? You obviously had this itch the whole time, but how did you land on Riley and deciding, yeah, this is the one, this is the time to take the plunge?
So like so many entrepreneurs, personal frustration. Myself and my co-founder Fiona were together having a few glasses of wine as we did, and I got my period. And we were at home and had no period products. We looked in every single, coat pocket, drawer, in the bathroom, etc., and couldn't find anything. So we said to ourselves, this is crazy. How do we not have a tampon? This happens to us pretty much every month without fail. We're women in our late 20s, early 30s. This should just be delivered to our door. This should be easy. This shouldn't be something that we even have to think about. So it was the subscription service that really, that we thought of first, and the convenience of just having products delivered directly to your door.
Yeah.
And then we started looking into what were in these products. So what were in mainstream period products. And when I talk about mainstream, I'm talking about the products that you might buy in your local Boots or your local Tesco. And the reality is, and what we found out was, a lot of these products contain chlorine bleach. They contain a lot of plastics. The average pad has up to 90% plastic. And that can be really damaging for the environment, but also...
Not great to be putting in your body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we just never questioned it.
Yeah, because it is a bit mad.
Yeah. And we were just given it at 12, 13, 14. And we just never said what is in this. But although we were questioning everything else we were consuming. So, you're looking at your coffee cups. What are they made of? What are they doing to the environment? You're questioning what laundry detergent you're using, what chemicals it's putting on your sheets or whatever. And we weren't questioning something that was going into such an important part of our bodies as well. So we found that out and are like, we did all that research and we were just shocked. And we couldn't find something on the market that would suit our lifestyle. There are other products, but we wanted something that was going to suit our lifestyle, going into the office, being busy working women. So we wanted something that would have the same look and feel as mainstream products, but that the makeup would be very different. So that's what we did.
Yeah, two kind of areas I want to kind of dive into from that. One on the supply side, but before we go into that, just digging into the product, I'm assuming, maybe wrongly, that neither you or your co-founder Fiona are maybe scientists.
Did you not know that?
I just don't know. Just on a feeling.
In my white lab coat.
Just on a feeling. So, okay, we've discovered like this shit is not good. Don't want this in the body. Not great.
Yeah.
But how do you decide what is good, and how do I bring that together to take kind of a very bad science analogy? But like,
No,
how do you go about that?
Well, and we had never, so Fiona actually had started a business previously. So she had a product-based business, but it was in like lifestyle. So it was nothing, it was not tampons and it was nothing to do with like science either. So we didn't, to be honest, we didn't know what we were doing. We just did a lot of research to figure it out.
Yeah.
And what we found were there were products that we could get that were 100% organic cotton.
Amazing.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
So those are the products. And quality was always something that we were obsessed with. So we were using the products ourselves. So we wanted to make sure that they were like exactly what we wanted. So the 100% organic cotton was really important. And then the other elements in terms of the applicator was really important. What was that going to be made of? Ours are made from sugarcane. And then looking at the packaging, okay, what was that made of? So ours is made from wood pulp, which means it's biodegradable. So it was just a lot of research. It was a lot of trial and error. So we got samples from so many different manufacturers all around Europe, and we were like testing everything ourselves as well. We were making sure that we were getting everyone in our network as well to be like, when are you getting your period? Have you tried these 5 products?
That's good though.
Yeah, well, we have to, because like we only get a cycle once a month. So you only get like 3 to 5 days that you actually can sample these products. So we were going out to everyone to be like, okay, what do you think? And like, it was our way of doing surveys, I suppose. But like, we just wanted to make sure that the products were, that we were 100% happy. And then that, you know, we were getting other people to try them as well. Yeah, it was just a lot of research and a lot of like talking to different manufacturers and really questioning. I think that's the most important thing, is to like question everything. Our products have all the necessary health and safety certifications that they need, but they also have a lot of extras that we wanted as well. So like, for example, derma-tested, hyperallergenic, so, and a lot of the CE, the quality mark. So all of those to make sure that like it really was the best quality that we could get.
Yeah, amazing. And then I suppose as well on you touched the beginning of this kind of wanting this subscription style model. And I'm trying to think of like reference points back then, like probably Dollar Shaver Club, things like that.
Exactly.
So how were you, I suppose, seeing some of those hero ones out there and thinking about, okay, how can I apply this to this product? How did you go about that?
So our North Star was Dollar Shave Club.
Oh, no
That's the one that we were like, okay, let's base it on something similar to that. So, and we actually got to speak to, it's the power of like entrepreneurship or networking. People are so kind to give their time. And we actually got the opportunity to speak to someone on Dollar Shave Club founding team. And they gave us a lot of advice around just the subscription model and how to set it up, and also supply chain, which is amazing. So yeah, we were basing it on that. But what happened, Ciaran, to be honest with you, was we started as a D2C business, and that's, you know, we started in April 2021. And about 6 to 8 months later, we got a phone call from Vodafone, and they were like, will you put your products in our bathrooms?
Absolutely.
And we were like, no problem.
I will hand deliver them.
We do this all the time.
Always like, yes.
100%. And like, there's no...
I'll get our person from the team.
Yeah. Mary here. And that's the thing behind businesses, that I think people see these, like, particularly sometimes ours, I think, and in so many businesses, but it's all so bright and shiny on the outside. And people are like, wow, that's amazing. And, you know, and like, you know yourself, like, it's like a swan, like underneath you're like,
oh, whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
What problem today?
You're just doing what you can, you know? So like...
Yeah, as long as it goes a little bit like this.
Yeah, not so much like this. And so we were like, yeah, no problem. Put down the phone. How do we even generate an invoice? Like, we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah.
At this stage as well, as you mentioned at the start, we were doing everything out of my house. So we when we thought of the idea of the business,
It's pretty intense. Sorry.
yeah, no, it was. Yeah, no,
There's no like
there was, yeah.
constant.
That's kind of what it's all about,
Yeah,
though, isn't
fair,
it?
fair.
We came up with the idea in the December 2020. We worked like our day jobs and weekends and evenings. We put all our life savings together and bought the product, and that arrived in April 2021.
Sounds
Right?
cool,
So like,
seeing
yeah,
that,
it was
yeah.
like it was also like this has to work. Like
These need to leave
these
here.
cannot be here.
And
Like,
people need to give us some money for them. Yeah.
and if you can imagine, like a tampon's tiny. We
Yeah.
had hundreds of thousands of them. So like
Was this in school?
in
Maybe?
school, yeah, like in my garage, like in my house. And we were just like, what? Like,
When Cork was home to the largest amount of tampons in Ireland in 2021.
and like seeing this 18-wheeler truck come up like this country lane, and like your man was like, is this for you? And I was
Load it
like,
up.
coming on in. And they were like, do you have like a forklift? I was like, what? No. No, that's just us. So yeah, it was definitely a leap of faith, and but we were so adamant about the idea. Like we
Yeah.
were so sure. Like
Yeah.
when you think about it, like half of the world menstruates,
Yeah.
and people deserve better quality products. So we were, obsessed from the get-go, and we knew we were going to make it work. So
That's
anyway, we launched the D2C side, then the B2B side kind of came out of nowhere, to be
Yeah.
honest. Vodafone rang, and then we had started to get a couple of really good articles in the press, and it was organic. Like, I suppose female founders coming out of West Cork out of a garage with period products, probably not the most like
Very newsworthy.
yeah, very newsworthy, not
Yeah.
the most normal story in
No,
the world. So like they were like, okay, like so we were
Yeah.
getting a good bit of press, which was amazing, and I love like Irish press is amazing. They've been so supportive to us as well.
Yeah.
And so more businesses were kind of like contacting us, and people were kind of saying to each other like, why aren't these products in the bathrooms? Like
Yeah.
we fundamentally believe as a business that period products are a basic human need,
100%.
and that they should be treated the same way as toilet paper. So be in every single bathroom that you walk into. So we were kind of putting out, that was our stance, and that's what we believe in. And then people were like, yeah, like when you start talking to people, they're like, yeah, why aren't they in the bathroom? Like you're not going into the office bringing around toilet paper. So like it should be in the toilet. Yeah, it kind of just snowballed from there.
Just curious to pick up on the B2B and the D2C bit elements, because as you touched on, couldn't have a larger market share, half the world's population
Yeah.
basically. But with that brings its own challenges. Like it's so expensive to reach that many people.
Yeah.
And when your product is kind of not priced at a very, very high price, so you
Yeah.
need to shift a lot of
Yeah.
the containers that are arriving into West Cork.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you like from the very beginning think about like, okay, I've got these tray loads of product coming in here and I need to get this out to as many human beings. Like,
Yeah.
Talk me through
Yeah.
that.
And what a lot of people don't realize is actually 85% of our business is B2B. So, well, we did slow down the D2C side
Yeah.
because, as you said, it's really expensive, particularly like digital ads at the moment are just crazy.
Expensive.
Yeah. So, and what we were really focused on as business owners was we wanted to build a sustainable business for
Yeah.
the future. So,
Yeah.
profitability was a big thing for us. We wanted to
It's
make
a lovely
sure.
thing, profit, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We're still in the mix of it,
Yeah.
but like, but it's so important. It's so important. I think we were coming off the back of, as we said, these dollar shave clubs, like Wild is another one. We're
Yeah.
talking like big spend, big scale,
Huge spend.
huge spend. Like,
Like there's all the toilet roll ones as well. I'm just names escaping me, but like
who gives a crap? About
Yeah.
that one, is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
you've just spent so big.
So big. And we were seeing that the B2B market was something that we could go into, that we were still reaching thousands and thousands of people through, like, let's say, for instance, Salesforce Ireland, Salesforce Tower has 5,000 people in it.
Mhm.
So we were reaching,
One
a
sale,
lot of
5,000
people,
people, yeah.
that would usually be within our target market.
Mhm.
We said to ourselves, okay, like we're still going to keep the D2C going because we feel really passionately about it. And we know it's a huge part of our business. And one would not exist without the other. But B2B was something that we were like, this actually makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
we can help a lot of people really quickly doing
Yeah.
this. Ireland was a little bit, I'm not saying behind the times. UK was a bit more forward when it comes to period products in the bathrooms,
Mhm.
whereas Ireland, this was really new to them.
Yeah.
So actually, when we were talking to people, they were like, oh my God, like we've never done this before and this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So we were able to grow the business through that, like quite quickly in Ireland, which has been amazing. And it's amazing to see people like know how important this is and like really register it and say like it's amazing for well-being, like it's really, really important for gender equality in the workplace as well, and sustainability too. So people are really understanding that, okay, hold on, this is something that we need to do.
You talked about the kind of differences between, say, how the product was initially being perceived within, say, Ireland and the UK. Does that mean you went to market across both countries from the get-go, or did you start in Ireland and then come into the UK?
We always had the capabilities to go throughout Europe. So once we left my house and went into a warehouse, I mean, if someone had been like in Timbuktu, can you get the products there? We would have got it. Like absolutely no questions asked. So, but when we moved into our first warehouse, then we were all across Europe, and but we focused on Ireland mostly, just to really get the product market fit right. When we launched the D2C side, like I look back, I'm like, I can't believe I even bought that. Or like, you know, just the packaging. We were so proud of it at the time. But you know,
probably relative to what was out there, going back to the most simple basic point of like, do you want to put this in your body or
yeah. But like the quality product was there, like that has never changed. But it's more so the packaging. Like I'm like, oh, that's so funny. But like that's part of starting a business. And I'd always say as well, I'm so glad that we just launched. Like we didn't spend like years. I know a lot of people do, and maybe tech's different, but
I think naivety is the best strength you have as a founder at the beginning. That's why I think like management consultants often make the worst founders, because they just think too much.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing.
they're brilliant down the line.
Yeah,
but like at the beginning, you just blind naivety.
Just give it a go.
Just give it a lash.
Yeah.
Such a difference in that
100%.
kind of thought process.
Yeah, 100%. And that like that's genuinely what we did, and it paid off for us. And I would always say to anyone to do the same. You just never know if you're not out there, like as in getting feedback and like
like even if someone thinks you're a complete idiot, the amount you learn from that is
100%.
fantastic. Oh, I won't do that again.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go again.
Yeah, I'll try something different. And like even when we launched, we did it month to month with our subscription service. We were like, okay, this makes sense. Like you need it every month, so we'll just send it every month. But then we were looking at, okay, sustainability, like are we generating more waste by doing it every month? If we could do it every 3 months, that would actually be better. So like there were different iterations of like, and we could change that then once we were out there. But it's the stuff that you kind of, I don't know if we would have thought of that if we had spent a lot of time thinking before we actually launched it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. One thing I kind of wanted to get onto was talked a little bit or referred to like D2C can be bloody expensive, particularly with like keeping up with the ad spend just to be able to kind of get the growth levels up. Funding, how did you manage that from kind of launching the business, scaling the business? How's that been for you?
So we did 2 rounds of funding. So our first round was in 2021, late 2021 when we launched the business. And we actually crowdfunded, which is kind of unusual.
It is unusual. And it can be, can I ask which platform?
So we use Cedars. They've been taken over by Republic since. But we use Cedars. And the reason for it was we were really new and we had a lot of people that wanted to support us, but we had no one coming in with like one big giant ticket size, you know?
But did you need to put down like 30% of the money yourself?
A lot of people don't know. No, not yourself, but a lot of people.
Did you bring money to the table?
Yeah, you have to do the majority of that. A lot of people don't realize with crowdfunding platforms, you bring it all yourself pretty much.
But they charge you for it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of naivety, I think, around, and we were as well. We didn't know the answers. And again, you're just learning on the go. But yeah, a lot of people think that you just launch on the platform and then everyone will like jump in. Which, you have to create that marketing yourself. You have to create that hype yourself. And you also have to get the majority of the raise yourself and get people bought in. So we did that first time.
How was that experience? Like, was it good in terms of you're creating these assets, you're building hype, so that has its net benefits as well as I would imagine being a big time vortex as well?
Definitely. I think it was really great. Sometimes, and like sometimes you just keep going. So you're like, I don't know.
You're not thinking.
Or like what you've achieved. So it's a really good like time to be like, okay, we've done this in such a small amount of time. We know we can do this, this, and this. So like to put it all in paper and to say it to people and be like, we're going to do this. And they're like, yeah, okay. So I think that's really important. And then with our second raise, which we did 2 years later, so we raised just over 2 million in total. And our second raise that we did was on crowdfunding as well. because we had seen so much success the
Yeah,
first time
yeah,
around that we were
yeah.
like, let's actually do that again.
Yeah.
And again, it was a really good opportunity for us to be like, okay, wow, like look how far we've come. And like, look, you know, we've won awards and we've been in press and, you know, obviously revenue metrics are really, really important as well. And like, we were able to be like, oh yeah, cool. Okay. We've done a lot. And like, actually, this is great.
Yeah. Because that's so common, I think, with a lot of founders where you're just on treadmill 20 so much that you
Yeah.
never take a moment to go, oh, actually, when I was on treadmill 20 6 months ago,
Yeah.
the numbers look very different.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't that pretty cool? Yeah. So like it does give you a moment to be like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. And I need to do more of it because I think, like you've just said, you are constantly on that treadmill. So we were 4 years old last April, and I never even like acknowledged it until I was sitting at home actually in Dublin with my family, and my mum handed me a card, and I opened it, and it was like happy 4th birthday, and I was like, oh my God,
know.
like I acknowledged it in my head, being like, oh wow, but actually I was like, this is crazy, like it's amazing, and like we should be celebrating every single milestone without getting too ahead of ourselves. I think that's a real Irish thing to be like, get down and
You know, that's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
yeah, I don't want to
That's
celebrate
true.
myself too much. But it is so important, but it's not for like bravado, it's for confidence. I
Yeah.
think particularly, maybe this is a female founder thing, I'm not sure, but it does help with the overall confidence in what you're building as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's, for me personally, I'm night and day between when I started and like the problems are still there, but your ability to handle them is like completely different.
Completely. Moving on kind of from the fundraising side of things, one area I'd love to unpick is people. A lovely topic. Can go many directions. But as you said, naturally you guys started it in your kitchen table, but you've brought and built a team along the way.
Yeah.
Would love to just get your raw thoughts on that. I know, left it really open there. So yeah, just because it's such a big thing.
Sure.
Again, going back to the naivety thing, you never really think about it probably as much. Obviously, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But because you're going at such speed, you don't necessarily maybe always give it the depth of thought at the beginning,
Yeah.
which obviously has some benefits. But I'd love to know your experience of building out the team and what's that been? What's
Yeah.
been like?
I'm a people person. So
Yeah.
I actually love team and team culture and positivity and all that kind of side of stuff. So personally, I actually really struggle when things aren't, you know, when the culture isn't where I want it to be, or when people are like naturally moving around. Like I actually, on a personal level,
I
quite struggle with that.
completely
Get it?
with you, so 1,000,000% on that side.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
like really do feel it.
I feel, oh my God, it really hits.
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
Yeah.
So that side of the business, I really feel, but I think you have to experience it. I think that you are told, you know, do this or don't do this, or you're given all this advice, and you can get different people to interview different people and like XYZ. The reality is, like, you kind of have to make the mistakes yourself, and you will make them.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way it is. All you can do is make sure that you keep your integrity and like your own values strong, I think. Like, so having integrity, treating people with kindness, I think is really important. You know, having respect for everyone, but also navigating that in a way that like is the best for the business.
Mhm.
Like, because at the end of the day, people will like move, you know, that's part of it. But the business, like if one person is leaving, yeah, but like the business has 10 other people that they need to support. So
Yeah.
it's important that, you know, we look at it as a full picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard, like getting the right, like the journey changes. So people change along the way.
Yeah, because I suppose like, how did you find that in terms of like the roles you were looking for in the first year, second year, third year? Did it
Yeah.
completely change? And like one thing I often see is it's very hard at the beginning because from the employee come in, they can get so fixated on job titles.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah, that's interesting.
you don't necessarily have the most fluid structure, particularly at the beginning, and you're not necessarily looking for a specific
Yeah.
role as such. Like,
Yeah.
how was it in your experience in terms of like those first couple of years compared to where you are now in terms of the people you're looking for, the roles that are there? Like, how's that changed?
Yeah, we've moved from probably more junior roles into more senior roles, I think. What we're realizing is that it is really all about experience, but it's all about attitude as well. It's not necessarily someone from who has been very successful in a bigger company may not naturally suit a startup, you know? So like it is that attitude of rolling the sleeves up and just getting involved.
How do you suss that out?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. We just made, actually, interestingly enough, a big hire this year. He has just come in, he's our first male employee as
Oh,
well, which is
nice.
amazing. We're an all-female team. And he has just come in as our CCO. And I found him actually through his old company, was a client, but through network. And actually, I went to him a while ago to ask him for advice. So the kind of conversation went from there. And then I said, look, would you think about joining us? And he said, yeah, I would. So
You really
that
got to know him.
I really got to know him. Yeah. And I think that those sides of like having integrity and kindness and respect are really important for me as well. I also think like you need fun in the workplace. Like you
100%.
need someone who you're gonna be in the
Happy to
trenches
crack.
with,
Yeah,
but that you
yeah.
can also have a bit of fun with as well, because you're in there day in, day out. And like that is, I just think that's such an important part of it. But yeah, he came with a lot of experience he was from another startup. So he's
Yeah.
come with loads of experience, and he's just like just really loves work and like wants to get stuck in and loves the impact and all that
Yeah.
kind of side of things. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's worked out really well.
So do you feel like having gone through it, you're more analytical, or you kind of know the traits that you're looking out for that you maybe wouldn't have seen at the beginning?
I think so. Yeah. And also I think we're a bigger business now. We're attracting better talent,
Yeah.
a bigger name now. So people want to work for us now. Whereas like when we were 1 year old, like, yeah, people wanted to work for us, but probably not in the right roles.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of different that we're
Yeah.
like, okay, we have more, we've got a bigger brand. And I just think that experience is so important. And I think that experience in a startup is really important.
Yeah. Have you kind of had any learnings for where maybe it hasn't gone to plan?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had learnings, and they're hard, like
Yeah.
really, really hard. And we also have had learnings around location. So we have an office in Dublin, Cork, and London.
Yeah.
And then we had people over the last 5 years that have been remote as well. And I just think it's harder for people when they're remote fully.
Yeah, talk me through that, because if you're launched in 2021, it's pretty remote-y environment.
Yeah.
But obviously you're seeing the benefits, I'm assuming, from having people in hubs with energy sources
Yeah.
and having that osmosis. So what's been kind of those takeaways that you've got from that?
Yeah. And like, call me old school. I just think that people being together is a more productive environment. And I know it's not what people want. And I see the benefits of 2 days at home as well, all of that side of things. But I think ultimately people getting up and getting out and being into an office together is far better than people working from home.
Yeah, but even that separation point, I think we were talking about it on, is just super, super important. And also, if you're a young business, like, you need a competitive edge.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I just think as well, they connect more with the business. Like, we are obviously a for-profit business, but we're having a huge impact, and we're very purpose-driven as well. So I think it's better for people to connect over that when they're in office,
Yeah.
seeing each other.
That's super important as well, because not all businesses have that, say, mindset in mind. How do you, well, I'm saying indoctrinate's probably not the wrong word, but like get that kind of culture and messaging across? Because something that I've learned from not doing the best experience at the beginning was onboarding, and I still don't think we're perfect, but I think we put way more effort into that now, and it was just naivety at the beginning of like not understanding. But is that something you look at as an important step?
Onboarding.
Yeah.
I think earlier on we had like documents and SOPs and all this. I actually think we did it all too early. So then actually when people joined, it was probably too formal then.
Gotcha.
And then now it's probably too informal again.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a balance to get to. Yeah, that one's a hard one, I think, particularly in a startup environment. Like the best way for people to learn really is by like sitting with other people and listening and like getting stuck into the role, I think. But then you need to make sure they're set up for success in terms of like not expecting too much for them too soon.
Yeah.
I think that's something we've probably did in the past at some stage, is expecting too much. Like people are coming into a new environment they've never been in before.
Yeah.
So like you need to give them a bit of time, but in startup there is no time.
No.
Like,
Negative time.
like you
Negative
need to be
time.
able to do it today. You know what I mean? Which is just like so
Negative
unrealistic.
time.
Yeah.
And then I suppose on the success metrics, how do you kind of get into a cycle of like, these are the really important KPIs? Like, does it take time for them to get into that, or how have you found that element?
Yeah, I think people, it just does take time, doesn't it? And I think a lot of, because we are so purpose driven, people think that perhaps it can be quite like casual inside, or and I
Yeah.
always say in interviews, someone told me years ago to try and scare people in interviews, which wouldn't really be my,
I wasn't
but, like,
fancy. No offense, I just
I know I come across very scary, but
But actually, it could be ultimately terrifying because you're just so unterrifying that if you were to do it, it could be like, I will never work for this woman again in my life. Please get me out of here.
like within reason, obviously.
Did you try it?
Not like
Please tell
coming
me
up
you tried.
behind them. And
No,
like,
no, obviously. But did you
but
try
like,
it?
yeah, I
Oh
have.
God,
I
come on,
have.
hit
No,
me, hit
but
me.
like,
Come on, what did you do? What
no,
did
but
you
I
do?
just would say, and I still do it now. Like if anyone has been interviewed by me, like I'd say they're like she's like
Come on,
crazy.
tell me,
But
stuff,
like
Jeff.
I would just be like, this is a really hard place to work. Like this
Okay,
is
that's
not
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
Like I feel like
I was really picturing something very
more
like really
dramatic.
into character, a lot of shouting, bit of a crescendo. But that's just a very
Music.
practical, fair
Yeah,
thing. And
like
I think that's really good because
yeah.
I think probably both of us are positive people,
That's
so
the
that
thing.
we're
Yeah.
naturally going to be talking about and
Yeah.
think. But it's really important to give the warts and all
Yeah, definitely.
reality of it.
And we're very, as a business, like we're very performance driven. So, that's really important in what we do. So I always like to get that across because, people can see us online and like we've had all these amazing achievements, but it's because of the team working night and day in the background. And I would just never want anyone to come in and think that's not the case. And I fundamentally believe as well that with a team, you're as strong as your weakest link, really, because that like one person can have a real effect on everyone else if something like if they're not performing or if there's a negative environment that can really spread throughout a team as well.
Yeah.
So I've become very like protective of the team. We have an incredible team. And I've become really protective of that now. So now people interviewing, I have to be really sure. And as you say, I'm a very positive person. So my first interviews, I'll be like, yes, and like I'd nearly be like giving them the answers. And like I'd be like, oh, isn't that great the way they smiled? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like that is not
I
the
know
way.
it's so bad.
So
I'm
bad.
just I
Like,
definitely do the same. No, it's
yeah.
it's not the way.
So yeah, so I think I've tried to be more like I'm doing it to protect the team, to be like, okay, I have to be tough on this.
Yes.
Tough, but like I have to be more.
Find out the hard questions.
Yeah,
Find out what
exactly.
they're going to be like. in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
realities of
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But like, let's also talk about the amazing achievements, right? We mentioned the phone call from Vodafone. Amazing.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot more phone calls, there's a lot more businesses. You're in a lot more places now. So talk me through that scaling and kind of the success that you've achieved and where you are today and how have you managed to do that and kind of ramping up on that B2B side of things?
So we, as I mentioned, when we launched in 2021 and we got our first phone call from B2B in around like later that year, probably October, November. So then, since then, we have over 400 corporate clients. So the likes of Google, Accenture,
Excellent.
KPMG, Deloitte, which is
Good
brilliant.
morning. That's unreal.
Yeah, it's amazing. And all across Ireland, the UK and Europe as well. And we're starting to go into the States as well, which is very
Unreal. Didn't know
interesting.
that.
Yeah. So
When
which
you
is
think of that?
great. Well, we've gotten clients there now.
Have you?
So yeah, we have.
Yeah.
So
What's that like with your man and the tariffs?
yeah, that's the thing. So we're doing the whole like, can you ship here? Yeah, we can, and we'll figure it out later
Okay.
for the start, and
Yeah,
then put in a lot more structure. So we just want to again test the waters,
Yeah.
but initial signs are positive. So yeah, it's been great, and what we are seeing is that a lot of businesses are like understanding how important this is, and we partner with everyone from like small gyms, bars, restaurants, right up to those enterprise size clients.
Yeah.
And we've just launched a new product as well for hotels because, again, think about it. If you're in a hotel, a gorgeous hotel in the middle of nowhere, and you get your period,
Even if you're back arse of nowhere and it's a
yeah,
Cammy hotel, they should still
or like an
have-
airport hotel,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely,
Yeah, and there's
yeah.
no products there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, and like, there's a lot behind that. Like, when you get caught off guard getting your periods, like somewhere, there's a lot more to it than like, you're like, you're walking into a big meeting, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Where am I going to sit? How am I going to look? Am I like all these things that like really can shake confidence? So again, really important across the board. And then we've launched new products into hotels. So for the guest bedrooms and also for the
Oh, yeah.
bathrooms as well, which is really good. We're getting a really good response to that too.
Amazing. And is that kind of helping that kind of international drive of kind of going through their networks?
Yeah, I think actually both sides. So a lot of the corporate environments would put us across their offices. So like, for example, Kerry Group, we're in their main office on the Nace Road, but then we're in their European offices
Oh,
as
nice.
well. So like a lot of places would roll us out across from one like location. They'd see the success of it. They'd see the feedback from staff on it, and then they'd roll us out other places as well.
Amazing. Okay, so 4.5 years later, we've gone from one phone call from Vodafone to 400 businesses across 2 different continents.
Yeah.
What's next in this next cycle for you? Like, what are the areas that you're focusing on as a business owner now that you weren't doing before?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I'm still on the like revenue, the B2B side of the business. So a lot of focus there on like new business and also our expansion with our clients as well. Because we have proved ourselves now. Like we know service is a huge thing for us. So
Mm,
we have a team of account managers that they're at the forefront. They talk to our clients every day. What do you need? Like how can we, deliveries, things like that. We always want to make sure that service is excellent too. So that's really important to us, and it's always been. Then the product quality is obviously really important to us. That's been key since the get-go. We have a rating of excellent on Trustpilot, so we know that that's really strong. So when we're going out there, like we're really confident in what we're giving to clients as well. So that's a real focus for us. Yeah, is like the new business. So if anyone needs period products in their bathrooms, please do contact me. But also
weareriley.com.
we are ready.com. But we're also, for companies that we're with, we want to continue to give that excellent service as well and like expand that across their different locations.
Yeah, so you just basically covered pretty much every gamut of a business there, from customer service to product development and sales. So what do you do? Like I do everything. So how are you managing outside of that? Like how do you find, like, can you switch off?
So that I struggle with,
Yeah.
definitely. I took a couple of weeks off actually earlier this year, which is the first time that I've taken like a prolonged break, which did me the world of good. I
Amazing.
actually can't believe it. It's night and day from when I took the break to when I came back. And as business owners, Ciaran, you're probably the same. Like, there's so much guilt and
Yeah.
you're like, you are trying to be always on. But the reality is I wasn't performing. This year, I just planned my holidays really badly. So I didn't take a proper break
Yeah.
earlier in the year. So it
Yeah.
got to like September. And like, as you can imagine, I travel a lot over and back to Ireland, like for the team or, for different things. And like, my focus is 100% the business. Like, as you know, like it does become just like your
Mm-hmm.
like baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to like September and I just wasn't performing properly. Like while I still love the business, a simple email was taking me like 2 hours to write. Like I was like,
That's so
what's
on
wrong
you.
with me? Like, yeah, I was so unlike me. And I just was getting kind of, without even really realizing it, I was just so stressed. Like, but I thought I was managing it. But the reality was I wasn't.
Yeah.
So I just took a break. I took a couple of weeks off and I went down to West Cork and I just switched off. And like my business partner, Fiona, could ring me anytime, she knew that. But the business is fine without you. Like, I hate to
How,
say it. Like, you know what I mean? You're grand. Like, no, I know, but like, you're actually fine. Like,
but that's cool, because you kind of need to probably do that to realize that, because otherwise you probably won't realize that.
but like, why are you hiring a team that are smarter than you are,
Yeah.
that are there all the time to then like be like, okay, guys, I have to be here too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you have to be there, but like, you all have to look after your stress levels, like
Massive.
let your team work. Like
Yeah.
they're amazing. You hired them because they're amazing. So
Yeah.
like let them,
Yeah.
you just like do it, and like that's a difficult position to move into, like, from the day-to-day weeds and knowing everything. And as I mentioned, our CCO came in and he has just taken like ownership and like, I'm like, this is amazing. And I work with him every day. Like
Yeah.
I'm still like as
Yeah.
busy as I've ever been, but like it means I can grow the business in a different way that like I
Yeah.
couldn't do before.
Yeah.
And I was like so in the weeds. I just really realized that taking that break is the best thing I've ever done for the business,
Yeah.
for myself personally, for
Yeah.
my relationship, for
Yeah.
my family. Like, you know,
Amazing self-awareness on you.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just so important. And like I came back, I'd say they probably were like, oh gosh, like I kind of came back probably 150%. So they were like, no.
But that's great
Yeah,
though,
no,
because
no.
that's you're a bit like me. You're like a mad, super
Yeah.
duper Duracell freak. That's probably annoying most of the
Yeah,
time.
that's the thing.
But that's probably hopefully I hope the kind of charm in it, because that you
Yeah,
can
exactly.
blast through things. But
Yeah.
if that battery's gone,
Yeah.
then you've lost a bit of your kind of one of your big strengths.
Yeah. And like, it's so
So
funny.
you've come
like-
back like bananas.
Well, that's the thing.
Come back, me.
Yeah. And Colin was like, one day he was like, I preferred you when you were stressed. So, yeah, but I just do think it's so important because you don't realize how you're coming across in the company sometimes. Like they can see when you're stressed.
Yeah.
Like they can, like your team can see it. It's not good energy for you to be bringing to the table.
I
And like,
hear that, because sometimes you're so aware of this, but
Mm.
you're just trying to suppress, and then you're
Yeah.
trying to put this on there, and the combination of those two energies is just like, it's really hard to.
really hard. And it just doesn't work. And like, I love my business, but I love myself, like, and like my
Yeah.
own life. And like, I was sacrificing a lot of my own life. You know, I wasn't going out or I wasn't doing things that I usually would have done because
Yeah.
all my energy was going on the business. And like, that's not right either. Like, I have to be happy, like, you know. So I think it's something that I've learned, and I hope other business owners like can
Yeah.
even relate to it. That like you can take
So
a break.
relatable.
It's so fine. Like,
Yeah.
you know, your business, you're going to be better. You're going to be better when you come back. So.
What you do?
Hi, my name's Anya. I am the co-founder of period care brand Riley. We supply 100% organic cotton period products that are better for our bodies and better for our planet.
If you're launching Riley today, what would you do differently?
Actually, not a whole lot differently, I think.
I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier about naivety.
Yeah.
It's best strength at the beginning. So
Yeah. Even just because like of the learning that we've done and simple things like you know, you start off with a product-based business, margins, right? Your margins are always like shot. Like they're just not going to be where you want them to be. And like that's
we
like
do love a margin.
Oh, yeah.
We love a margin.
I know.
Oh, I love a margin.
Talking
Oh,
about
when it
margin.
goes in the right way. Oh my God, it's heaven on earth, isn't it?
We've been here.
Oh my God,
have
have we talked about margins? Margins are our favorite thing. How have we not even done? I cannot believe we did a full podcast about margins.
We got there in the end.
We did. They are amazing. When it goes in the right direction, when it goes in the wrong direction, it's so upsetting.
Yeah, and ours has been they were just, and then they've been going in the right direction for
Economies of scale is a
like
beautiful thing.
unbelievable.
Oh.
Honestly, Fiona and I are nearly drooling over it sometimes. Just like this is so amazing. So like I think we could have. There's certain things. We're in a small amount of retail as well, right? So like. A lot of retail have been asking us to put our products in, and our margins weren't there, so
Yeah.
we made the decision not to. And now that's changed, and we've worked on everything in the background, and now we're able to now go into retail. But like, I wouldn't change any of that. Like
Yeah.
that at the time is a really important learning to be like, and like I actually had this conversation with Fiona the other day. I was like, why didn't we do this 2 years ago? And we were like, oh no, actually we didn't, because for all the right reasons. Like
Yeah.
we're very data driven, and as I said, we're very performance driven. So like we do look at the numbers to say like, and that's always going to be our biggest indicator of why we do what we
Yeah.
do. So that was important, and I just don't think I'd change anything along the way. Like a couple of things, yeah, you make mistakes on, but
No, but
nothing major.
But you make the mistakes. If you didn't make them then they're still hanging around for you to make in the future.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna make.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Has there been a message, email, or story from a Riley customer that stuck with you?
One of them, we had a customer email to say that she's been a Riley subscriber for a while, and before when she was using mainstream products, she used to like really suffer getting her period, and then like she used to have a lot of dermatitis, and she always like blamed herself or like couldn't understand what was wrong. And then since switching to our product, she's never had it since, and she has like a much
Wow.
more like comfortable period, and so like that's amazing to hear. Like. Every day I remember that we're genuinely making a big difference in people's lives and making them more comfortable. And like, that is a part that like is really important to me. Another one was we do a lot of launches with our B2B customers. So I'll go in and tell the story and etc. And one of the women put up her hand and she said she'd been a Riley subscriber since day one.
Oh,
And
love
I
that.
just,
Love that.
oh,
Oh,
it's like,
it's all the emotions.
oh,
Love it.
I literally hugged her. I'd say she was like,
That's so,
okay.
but it is so cool when you're like, oh my God, someone in the real life, in the real
Yeah,
world that I
yeah,
don't know is using my
yeah,
product that
yeah.
I that's so cool.
So cool. Like, and we've had loads of moments like that people like people are unreal. Like they're
Yeah,
so supportive
yeah,
and like whether it's on the entrepreneurial side or like the customer side, like people want to know what's in their products, but they also like want to buy from like a B Corp certified company, a female led company,
yeah.
like it's unreal. Like, so yeah, that was very cool. So
Amazing. I love the transparency and honesty. And it's just so cool to be able to take a moment and listen to your journey because I think your mom is dead right. Like it is mad and should be acknowledged compared to a trailer arriving into West Cork, going, how am I shipping this to a few odd human beings to get a phone call to Vodafone to here you are today, scaling the thing massively, 400 businesses and counting, another line going through hotels. So well done you. Thank you so much for coming on. Love the energy as always. So thank you so much. Took us a while, but we got there in the end.
thank you.
Awesome. Cheers. Thanks a lot.